Welcome tonight on E-Psych. Alright, now the headset is the green room, right?
Yep.
Alright, good. Now it's doing the headset. Alright, this is awesome. I love this a lot better.
Are you really so away from me? Do you really don't want me to see? I tried to reach you, but I fell from the sky. I didn't want to, but I needed to try. I'd like to reach your endless mind. That seems so endlessly confined. Unveil the truth that lies behind.
Yes, hello. What is your name, Oh, wow. Alright, well, let me just stop this intro, because you don't call it.
No. Play your intro. Don't worry about it.
Alright, good. Oh, wow. This is like, wow, my first show in a long time. On radio. Live in this format. It's so SNES, I wish I were a kid again. I mean, I look at Blog Talk, I'm just going to say, that thing was sort of mixture of partying to ColecoVision.
On your endless way,
It's like you'd rather play pop
it's so easy to know what you're gonna say. Every day
It's so horrible.
and every
But certainly,
night.
you so hard, you swear there was
I
fire and
don't
fire.
want to, but I have to
Servers
fight.
at Blog Talk. They go on so badly.
Are you excited?
I'm excited. I should have somehow got a hold of some weed.
I'd like to reach your endless mind. That seems so endlessly confined. Unveil the truth that lies behind. That seems so endlessly confined.
Yeah, it does. That's what it is. This part isn't getting recorded, so once this last 34 seconds is up on the song, I'm gonna hit monitor, and we'll just start talking. Okay, this is where my mouth goes on.
Fine. How are you?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold on, split. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to E-Psych on Last Voice for Liberty Network, and here's my boss, Lee the Mouth Pier, and the lovely Tammy Lynn, and oh my goodness, man, I'm back on radio again. This is like a crazy...
Congratulations, E.
Yeah, oh man, hard work does pay off, especially when the government's the one paying you by mistake. But nevertheless, anything other than a bad prank call gone worse, nevertheless, I'm feeling a heck of a lot more important sitting up in this attic while not being one. Mom's downstairs sleeping, neighbors downstairs sleeping, dogs are going off wondering what the hell's going on upstairs. It's not me getting laid, it's me on radio. So how about East Psych, ladies and gentlemen? I wish I was getting laid, but how y'all doing?
No, not too bad, man. You know, just another day, another 50 cents.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Do that.
Awesome. Well, tonight...
Pleasure being on air again. Of course, this is Lee, of course, and you as well, Lee.
Yeah, I looked at the soundboard when I came on and was playing around with the soundboard. I meant the soundboard only, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be disgusting in your minds. Oh, he said playing around. He said soundboard. If you've got the mind of a 3-year-old and you're 45, get off the damn radio. I'm not being a child here. We're here discussing serious matters like abuse. Abuse is a serious topic. We have everything from cop abuse, which can range from law and justice of all different kinds, jail and prison quotas, hospital abuse, psychiatric abuse, hospital, psychiatric, all around, jail and prison quota, you know, and so on and so forth, parental abuse, fathers versus sons, daughters versus mothers, all that Bible stuff that really does happen on TV, and it's really fact if you know a few friends that I know. And when you got all this as fact, at what point do we redefine the narrative? Who wants to start? Lee?
Let Lee start.
Lee, go ahead, owner of the network. You get started. You're the mouth of the network.
Well, first of all, you know, welcome, of course, to the network. It's great to have you here, a part of the Last Voice for Liberty network. You know, that's what we do here, having that old time. But, you know, we're trying to get the show going. Man, now all of a sudden my phone decides to blow up.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I'm going to let you guys here real quick. I got to take this here real quick, and
All right, Ms.
I'll let you guys.
Ms. Tammy.
This is the fun part about owning a network.
Yeah, it blows up, but it stays okay. Well, at least you're there, all right. There's no Unabomber near
I'm
you.
in this, you've got to excuse. So, you know, trying to you know, take care of a few things here and set up stuff for this week's Friday night show and everything. I apologize. I meant to get this stuff taken care of earlier, but now people are just getting back to me. And so let me handle this here real quick, and I will jump in here in just a few minutes. You guys go ahead and talk about this. I apologize. Thanks.
Not a problem, man. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. X-Men. Hey, man.
I'll chime in here in a second.
X-Men had a leader in a wheelchair. We have a team leader that's a mouth. Rolling Stone? No. Mouth is right there taking calls on a phone. And while we're discussing abuse, we have Miss Tammy here. What would you like to say?
Again, I would like to congratulate you. You know, of course, that I'm at work, so I have to keep this a little bit short. But
Yeah, don't
I'm
get
so
caught out.
glad you're back on radio to join us on the network.
Oh, I feel great, man. It feels so great to be back on radio again. I mean,
I bet it does. And you were missed. I'm telling you, you were missed. And this is a late night for me. Normally, I am off, home, comfortable at 5 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So I will definitely be chiming in more on your shows as you do gracing us.
Well, don't get caught off
Show.
break. Get back to work, and don't let me yell at you, young lady. Go make the money! It's only worth Monopoly.
Well, I'll be out of here in about 20 minutes, so I'll try to call back.
All right, cool.
Enjoy your show, E.
Hey,
I'll call you regardless, even after your show.
All right, thank you, peace.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck, babe. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The lovely Miss Tammy Lynn, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye, honey.
Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess just now it falls back on me and what I think abuse is. Well, what is abuse overall when it really comes down to brass tacks? Now, watch out when I say brass tacks when the government's been paying me to tell you all this truth. And all I've done was 4 hospital stays worth of... Wait, that was 4 years ago. Gee, no numerology here. This is the facts. What does it come down to when you, the American... Let's draw this back to you, the listener. Forget about everything else you've heard here. What about you? You, the listener. Say, for example, let's put you, the listener, in perspective. You're a nobody. Let's just say it like that. It doesn't matter where from Vice City, Ghetto Hell, or Farmville, Potville, whateverville, Hellville, New York, or Mississippi you are from. You're either living in a basement, you're living in an attic, you're in, let's say, well, just to give it a ridiculous age, like your 80s, and people are living a lot longer in the future than they are now. Because, oh my goodness, you make a person feel worthless, they might just live longer than they're expected. Fuck the Georgia Guidestones, they just might not get to happen because of people just dragging out. And you just don't know what to do, so they take away your civil liberties like your gun rights. They've been doing that. They take away your overall religious rights, where it doesn't just get to be about Christianity anymore. It gets to be about anything that's against the establishment. So what do you do when all you have left is a mouth and no care, and all you've got left is, I don't give a beep, 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 beep. You just open your mouth, you press buttons, and you go out in the community and you rave like a madman. Because it seems to you, in all your 80-plus years, God forbid you live that long to see past your 60th birthday of all that crap you must have seen by then, before 80th, because people always seem to get to live longer these days. What ends up actually happening is you've seen that no matter, they always say, oh, people say to you, all you gotta do is ask me nice. And if you ask me nice, then I can just tell you, or you can just tell me, and we can communicate properly, and we can solve a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to be a normal person, or a crock pot, or a shock jock, or a no jock, or a person living in a basement, or an attic, or working in a farm mill, to know fully well if that was that simple for the world to function in that way, we wouldn't need a goddamn UN to sell our sovereignty to. So if a mental patient can figure that out, come on, ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the right show. So if I can get any chime-ins right now, I'm just going to keep rambling until Lee comes back. So when the mouth returns from the phone waves to the airwaves, I'm just going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is how it runs. Nothing is ever that simple. Nothing comes that easy. We know this. We understand this. But when it comes down to fully accepting those truths, we just fucking can't. We want to believe what we want to believe. We want to say we can what we think we can. But when you, the little engine that thinks you can, wants to say, yes, we can, and you're pushed into a freaking corner and you say, help! It's only because you're depending on more than just your big brother. You're depending on your new world order that created that big brother, like a master mold producing a giant problem out of its stomach like an alien birth, and now here you are, helpless, wondering, where did this apocalypse come from? Well, some have said in these ancient times, they'll be looking at the History Channel in the year 3016, well, ancients have once said that there was once upon a time there lived a people called Christians, who actually said that this came out of a book called Revelation. And we end up becoming an archaeological find for useful idiots down the road of Latter-day. Wait, where do these guys come from again? They're not saints, so what's a saint? And they go on something like Poogle, or Hoovel, or some kind of Babylonian slur in a replacement term for Google, which is something they'll have in the future. To search out who we are today. God help us if they look up idiot savants. Pardon the pun, they look up idiot savants in the year 3016 to find out the whole fucking planet shows up on a screen, and it's a freaking computer right out of Star Trek, and it shows the whole damn planet, and it can't configure in its own mind, was it ever round or flat, and all you see is a big giant LOL across the middle. That's what they argued about, round or flat? Pardon the pun, but if the computer ends up with a sense of humor, and the people have to have a laugh track because the computer laughs first, and they laugh with it like the computer's a person, and that's a laugh track. If you can see the idiocy behind sci-fi and how it's influenced us, look what Star Trek has done for us. It gave us cell phones. A communicator has later birthed out what we have now as an iPhone. A cell phone used to be the size of a shoe, if you remember the 80s. So if you see where we're going historically, past tense, here and now, ladies and gentlemen, we're not heading for a right place. None of us. I don't care if you're a Satanist, a Christian, a pagan, or nobody, agnostic, atheist. I don't give a damn what you believe. If you don't honestly love your neighbor as yourself, leave parents and their own social problems alone. If a parent needs to bust their kid's ass for looking them up with their little beady eyes and their 3'2" saying F you to their big mom and the big dad, and that hauls off with a box of Cocoa Puffs and cuckoos and them upside the head, don't be standing there threatening to report them to CPS. Leave them fucking parents alone. The kid's got a mental problem, but the drugs ain't helping. Whew! Don't get me testifying up in here today.
On drugs is the last thing. I actually I can speak on experience. You know, a person that I work with was talking to me today about how his kid is supposedly having issues with his teacher at school, and they're saying they actually made the mistake of saying to him, well, you know, perhaps you should take him to your doctor and see if there's a medical issue, if there's a medicine we can get him on. And man, if you knew this guy, and he's been on the show before. I'm not going to mention his name because it gets too personal here, but he's been on the show before and a very good friend of mine. And he's going to go off on these people because drugging your child. Why would a school sit there and say, well, you know, God made a mistake. And so therefore, since God made a mistake with your child, then you need to put him on this man-made medication to make him more subservient.
You surely should not die, so just eat this apple, and your kid will Ritalin just fine, Eve. Yeah. Big pharma. Yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that one. It's fucked up sense of humor, but nevertheless, it's what it is. It's exactly what they're telling you. They're Genesis 3-ing you all over again with this stupid nonsense. It's like, I'm sorry, I've said this on my videos on Facebook. I'm mostly known on Facebook, and I'm going to say it again. Cat Williams is throwing this out in the play, and he's getting some crap happening to him over in the media, in the backyard media. But listen to this. Back in the day, they didn't tell you anything about the drugs. They just gave them to you. Like free condoms at a clinic, your kid was given Ritalin by a doctor to a parent. Then the parent was responsible for making sure they knew the difference between sugar and don't give it to your kid while they're on Ritalin. No, nothing, no warning label. And it wasn't until later that you got the warning label that sounded a little more like, and that was that Sesame Street explanation. You know, they're bold as a trap. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get that now. It's like, for dry, red eyes, clear eyes is awesome. Side effects are blind eyes. Both hands may fall off. Lower male genitals may fall off. Hairy palms. What the frick? And this is over the counter.
Yeah, all the side effects are absolutely ridiculous on a lot of these things.
I know, it's like they give you the reason for the side effects. I'll take more drugs. It's like chop my damn horns and legs off, damn it, and call me Torso Boy. I want to live my life peacefully. Oh, man. Please chime in, please. I'm about to go crazy.
It's the nature of our pill popping society. You know, then
I wonder if I should pop my pills with a Pez dispenser. Maybe I'll.
You gotta be able to fix it. You gotta be able to fix it with the pill. You know?
Yeah. What are you doing, Ian? I'm taking my meds as prescribed, doctor. I just thought this would be more cheap and less costly than a $1 pill pack that confuses the crap out of me because the lettering is so small it looks Chinese after it wears out. Because it's made in China. Yeah, the little ink is so ridiculous, you lose track of what day it is in some of these things. God forbid you don't have the ability to see very well, to know where you're putting your pills. Yeah. It's crazy, because some of these people get really messed up on their medications, because some of these people really have sight problems after a while. And some people get, you know what I also know is people that get told that they need glasses. They don't even need glasses like the shows. He almost killed some people's eyes a few times I've known throughout life. And it's ridiculous, giving people glasses for no damn reason at all. Oh, you need to see better.
They're giving people pills for this. You know, you gotta have pills for your pecker. You gotta have pills for your twat. You gotta have pills for.
No, you only need lotion for your pecker.
You gotta have pills for your stomach. You gotta have pills for, everything. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and the more dependent you get on pills, the less dependent you can be up on your own body. Because then all of a sudden you stop taking those pills, and your body's like, "Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now?"
And all of a sudden you hear this cartoon sound in your head because you're making it up as you're making yourself laugh because your body's gone in delirium mode, and all you hear is drugs, more drugs, and it's the legal shit you want. And it's Pac-Man theme music you got going through your head sometimes. I mean, when I withdrew off my head,
256 and shit.
yeah, it's crazy. Because the worst part of it all is I'm not going to say much about my background as far as people I knew. I was exposed to this happened with someone else. They took acid, right? A family friend. And he almost ended up on a forever trip. Lucky for him, he wasn't forever. But I saw from a very young age what that could do. So I never tampered with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I just said, nah, if anything, not that. Anything but that. You know, I was just, 13? But I saw all throughout from my childhood, because when you're a young kid and you see things, you don't know what you're seeing until you get on the understanding as you get older kind of thing. I've seen people from my very young life, far back as 5 or 4, when I'd be babysat, and I'd see people withdrawing off of drugs. I didn't know what they were. I thought they were given to them by the doctor. I'd see people shooting up. I thought it was insulin. It wasn't insulin. I didn't know. But I was a kid. What did I know? So when I'm finding out that these people later on in life had serious drug problems, and what that really was that was in those needles, and then what was really going on in front of me, the only difference between their withdrawal and they're getting off their drugs is the fact it was illegal, that my whole 2012 to 2013 incident with trying to withdraw my meds was I was withdrawing from the legal shit, and it was the only difference was mine was a fight because it was the legal stuff I was breaking away from, and they were trying like that scene from Family Matters where Urkel was hypnotized, where he said, "I can see. I'm just being born. They're shoving me back in." And that's what they were trying to do, shove me back into that manic, depressive, mental health mind that I had before I withdrawn. They wanted to pull me back in the toilet matrix is what they wanted to do, and I wasn't giving them that, even with the pills I take. Because my mind is my own now. And that was all 2013.
They wanted to keep you on that bevel. Because if they could keep you on the pills and know your dosages, then they know exactly how to control you.
Problem is, I'm like Wolverine with adamantium. Pills or no pills. You don't kill me, I'm not stopping. I will find a way to get you back even in the paranormal. I believe I will haunt you if you fuck me over. I will personally come back worse than the product of Delia and Damon and rally your garbage cans just to fuck with you. I'll make sure your kids sleep right through it, but I'll torment the hell out of you, though. I'll have your kids taken away with how much of a manic depressive asshole you'll be acting like by the time I get through you. I don't give a damn if you're mobile mental health. I don't give a damn if you're the town judge, the politician. If you're the local cops, I will shake the frickin' hell out of you, and you'll be scared that you'll blow your own damn head off by the time I'm done with you, because you can't catch a ghost. What are you going to do? Call tabs? Bring a Catholic church, bring a psychic, bring them. I'll have them dancing their way back to PA. Because that's the spirit I'll be.
Friendly ghost.
I'll only be friendly to people that was friendly with me. Because that's just me. You don't do that to me, to innocent people.
Whew.
Yeah, my spirits are roaring tonight. Don't mess with the bald eagle when he can't fly any higher than I already am on pills. Because I take my meds as prescribed, but when things are just wrong, there's no amount of drugging me that's going to stop me unless you blow my head off, because I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But when right is right and wrong is wrong, I'm going to call it out even if I'm slobbering and speaking in tongues. I will find a way to get my message out. Because that's determination, that's heart, that's stamina, that's manhood. That I taught myself. Because there was no father in the whole of my life. My mother was a single parent my whole life. So when we're talking about abuse in parenthood, we're talking about a lot of government infiltration into these homes, not letting these parents raise these kids. And I think it's horrible. Because I'm in my 30s. I'm 36, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot more worse things become bad with parents that can't discipline their kids the way they want to, cops being distracted to domestic disputes with sons against fathers and mothers against daughters, or whatever, and that revelation stuff, and they can't go out and chase real bad guys. I mean, personally, I don't care if it's the kind of neighborhood where cops don't really have to do anything. I'd rather them train all day, suck down coffee, eat donuts, and do nothing and get paid, and just play at an arcade or something, then go into a neighborhood and arrest some parent for spanking or beating the hell out of their kid when they need it, because they dare look up the eyes of their parents and say, fuck you. No. I want to see a mother knock their 17-year-old kid's teeth out and let the cops just stand back and grab the kid, throw him on the stretcher, said, he's yours to pick up when you're ready to calm down, man. And just leave the mother where she stood at the top of the third stairway, or second, while they dragging him back to hospital base, where that mother's going to calm down and drive a few beers and smoke some weed and drink some, and the cop might even just bring it to her.
Well, you got to look at the dangers of what these pharmaceutical pills will do to somebody's mind on both ends. I mean, look at the CPS case that just happened. I can't remember what state it was in, where the stepmother helped her stepson carve up and chop up his daughter's body. So, tell me that somebody's being on a bunch of psychiatric pills and mind-numbing.
We have cops for that, Lee.
Cause
Let's not justify a reason to have a bad reason for a good reason. No, we have cops to arrest idiocy and thuggery and evil for that. We have cops for that. We don't need special police for kids locking up a mother and kids when they commit crimes that could very well charge them as adults. No, we have police for that. We don't need these CPS totalitarian, later evolving into mobile mental health crisis team thugs that normally consist of women or she-men, which could be anything from lesbians or men with femme fatale mentality. We don't need that in our society. I mean, I have nothing against gays working in our community, but when we have that form of feminazism, even in the form of our men who are married to women, I'm sorry, those are some bi-fags that don't even, those are the ones that the hip-hop industry are scared of, because they're the ones that go into other men and bring AIDS into their house. And I personally don't think of that any better of, you still there? You still with me?
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I don't think any better of mobile mental health, crisis units, or whatever they're called in each individual location. I don't think very much of CPS. I mean, if we're going to have mothers and kids do things like that, we have police for that. We don't need these special totalitarian Nazi Titanic like mindset, these Emperor Chin, Valkyrie, whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're special red coats, brown shirts. We don't need them. Because if we're going to start justifying a reason to need that, we might as well just kick out all over goddamn liberty. What'd you say?
Well, that's their end game, man.
Oh, yeah. It is their end game. It's Agenda 21. It's what James Sanders always comments on, and I'm going to leave him to ever want to come on if he wants to talk about it. He's been on my shows before. Cultural Marxism. He's touched on it. Cognitive dissonance. He's touched on it. He wrote several articles and pieces on that on his Facebook. God bless him. He's been on AIM Network when I had a network of my own. The archives are still there. The shows are still there. Just didn't take off like I wanted it to. It's just the point. This is where we got to make up our mind as a people. Do we want this as a people to unite us? Because apparently it's not working. It's not helping. And anyone who tells a parent or someone there are better ways than smacking your kids needs to be smacked and thrown down and stare at themselves. Because how the hell are you going to play with that fun boy shit? Because it's one thing to call something abuse. It's another thing to mask abuse with tyranny, to depopulate, scrutinize, and mess up an entire latter-day generation of what's our generation's becoming. I'm 36. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. Oh, Ian, I can see why. Yeah! You think I'm going to let my kid look at me and say, fuck you? I'll be in prison tomorrow.
Well, my kid, they said to me it's not even a big deal, or anything because they're older and, shit, that's just the way we are in our family.
No, I'm not talking about that, though.
But, we sit around and we'll bullshit each other. Fucking, me and the old man used to do that for years and years and years. We'd be playing cards and drinking together, and he'll lay down a hand. It's like, you fucking dirty cocksucker.
Well, you're adults.
Sit there and just laugh in your face.
But you're adults, though. We're talking not about adults to adults. We're talking about young children, little toddler, 2 little wannabe David looking up at their parents like that's their Goliath and they're going to sling them with words. No, that's not acceptable. And whenever these kids go out and do something, it gets put on YouTube, whether there's a picking on of a bus monitor, which never would have happened on any bus I ever rode on. I mean, anyone that back home remembers Alice and Miss Scorpino knows for a fact that bus monitor incident that ever got called on YouTube, the bus driver would have stopped the bus and it would have been over. Not gonna say what would fill in the blank, but those kids never would have did it again. The phones would have gotten taken up and busted upside the head and nobody would have known what happened to them, or the kids would have shut their mouths. So it would have been a big issue. But when you have these 3 kids, like a few years back, ganging up the bus monitor, making fun of her, and then the media gets involved, and then you got Bob Beckel, who used to be on the 5, turn around saying the parents should be held responsible. Parents can't even lift a finger of a feather without getting watched by their neighborhood, let alone scream without worrying if they're going to get hit without the cops showing up. Parents can't even shit properly around their kids without getting exposed. And these kids did what they did because they had no fear of God or their family. Regardless if there's a God in their house or not, the dad should be considered as equal as the mother. And if they're not fearing them, what's their life going to be like? Where's their balance? Even if you're an agnostic or an atheist, if you have no fear of your parents, you have no fear of where your consequences for your actions can lay. And if that's where we're going with our kids, government has not done its job. It's done its downfall. And is not, once again, has not done anything but kept a bad promise and did not fulfill, but did the opposite. And I will, as a citizen, want that to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm alone. I don't think I need to be a parent. I don't need to be a parent to be saying, this is messed up. If anything, I just need to be a citizen and say, hey, I lost faith in the system in 2013 by how quick I got lied about. I got railed in the 3rd time by just simply saying, hey, he aggressively handled his best friend's kid. Meanwhile, both my best friend's ex-girlfriend's mother, and my mom both knew for a fact that didn't happen. Rebecca, I'll always call you out on radio. Rebecca, I hope by the next time I see you, your hair goes from 50 shades of gray to all them shades of white. And if anything, I hope nothing but bad happens to you in the next life, if not in the earth, because I hope if anything good happens, the rest suck it up, because I hope you go to hell. Because if this is what you did to me, this is what you're doing to other people. You knew as well as I did that both my mother and my best friend's girl at the time both said I did nothing wrong. So when you tell me to my face, or at least over to the phone, that you put her in the spot, and I know for a fact that was a lie, and my mother held that knowledge back for 3 years. Because as soon as I got to the hospital, before I met you on James and Penning's radio station, Lee, I got on that phone, I called them bastards out and screamed. And bloody freaking murder on those people, like, how dare you? And I went off like bloody hell. And I told you guys what happened on radio the first time I ever came to Coalition. Because this is what happens. The mental health system is equally corrupt as the justice system, only they do it a little more passively. They put poison in your mana, man. And say, manifest on this, it's sweet.
They also want to, the medical industry is just as much an arm of the federal government as anything else. Yeah, they're a complete arm of it, and they're all tied into it together, man. I mean, look at the pharmaceutical companies lobbying in your Congress, and who's in their fucking pockets and everything else. It's all part of their plan to enslave you, control your life, make sure that they're running your show, and they want to run your mind. They want to run your every aspect of life. And they're going to do it through each and every fucking aspect they can. Whether it's through propaganda and everything else that they've signed into law in their new NDAA. I posted about that a little bit ago. But they also do it through the pharmaceuticals. What do you think all these drugs all of a sudden prevalent for? Why these people make billions of dollars?
Right on, man. And I've always pointed this link out on YouTube and on my Facebook, and I might as well put it out on Spreaker. It's called Worst Psychiatry Documentary Ever, and there's another YouTube documentary I also want to throw out there called DSM-5 Psychiatry's biggest scam. I always want to throw those ones every chance I can, especially on a large scale like this, because both of those alone, DSM-5, psychiatry's biggest scam, and the other one, which is called Psychiatry, Worst Psychiatry Documentary Ever, and both of these alone exposes psychiatry for what it is. Big time.
Mm-hmm. Mostly a play on the mind. I mean, some people, need that outlet or need that type of a psychiatric help, where they go and just talk to somebody and tell people about your problems, and you can pretty much get that if you
I was having
and have interactions with people, but I mean, you don't have to go pay somebody $100 an hour to do it just because they have a fancy little piece of paper that says, "Well, I can tell you how to think."
And I'm not going to say who I discussed this with because it's kind of personal, but I was fighting with someone today. It's like, even though I'm paying with someone else's $100 to go see these people, the clinic says you have to go see a therapist in order to get your medicine. It's like, I have no benefit going and seeing a therapist and doing all this talking. What am I talking about? If I'm going to talk, I want to talk because it's beneficial. There's nothing wrong with me. I have nothing wrong going on with my life. If anything, I'm an activist. There's nothing wrong with that. So what am I going to do? Go on this fucking thing and tell her how all good it is? It's what I have a radio station for. I don't want to go see her. Nothing against her. She's a nice lady. But I'm not going to waste my time and taxpayer dollars, which is not my taxpayer dollars, any more than it's mine, paying for my cab to go there. It's someone else's money, dragging my white ass to the clinic, dropping me off like a turd, hour and a half early before they let my ass in and everybody else, and then we're freezing in the winter. They never open the damn doors on time like they're supposed to, let alone drop us off on time like they're supposed to. And then you have to wait, because it's open access, first come, first serve, and then in order to see the doctor and get your meds like you're supposed to, you have to see a therapist, which I don't think my therapist is a bad person. It's just that the efficiency is like, I care about the damn taxpayers' money. The government's already paying for me to hear everything I'm saying with you right now. So, if you're already getting your money's worth, you're getting your money's worth. You're getting what I want, what I think is appropriate. But telling me I have to buy a service because Obamacare ain't been repealed yet, Obamacare could get repealed tomorrow. The policy at the mental health clinic will not change. I can promise you that. Let them change it.
That shit's been in place for years.
Yeah.
It came long before Obama did, and it's going to continue on long after. Obama's gone. Obamacare can be gone tomorrow. I mean, to be quite honest, there should be no taxpayer money because taxation is nothing more than theft.
Oh, of course taxation is theft. But hey, man, before the third hospital stay, I tried to send the check back to say I don't want your entitlements after I left the clinic. And when I saw that therapist I'm telling you about, I saw her, right? And I promised her if once I left, if I needed to, I'd come back. And I sent my check back. I said I don't want entitlements anymore. I want to do what's right for me. And mobile mental health, they had nothing legitimately on me other than the fact I acted a little crazy, acted like an asshole, but there was no dropping of a body, no shot of a gun, no dead one, no cause of injury. Acting a certain way is not enough to get someone locked up. You can't technically arrest someone for being an asshole. Unless you're harassing an officer, which I didn't. But at the same time, I'm going to and from and being me. And the only thing they could really do was lie about my aggressively handling my best friend's kid, which never happened because my best friend would have busted my ass, and that was how I would have got to the ER, but that was how I would have got there. And then, wait a minute, that's child abuse. I shouldn't have even been at the ER. I should have been in jail. And then I've gotten several conversations with this lady, Rebecca, you cunt. And I've gone and said, why did you even do this? Why? I need to know. I'm not understanding how I'm looking at the law, and it's right in my face on the computer, and you're telling there was a concern. You don't lock someone up on a concern. You gotta have burden of proof even in the mental health department. She locked me up because she lied. And she will not acknowledge her lies to this day. I hope that lady goes somewhere and dies in a plane crash. And I'll laugh when I find out she was on it. And I hope the whole mental health team was on it with her. Even if I don't know you, you're associated with her, you're a criminal. Hey, we think that way about Al-Qaeda. Why not? I'll laugh even if your grandkids are on there, because chances are they'll grow up to be just like you. Why? Because we don't need tyrants. I'm sorry, but I have nothing but burden of nothing good to think. I mean, I'd rather God do the job, because I'm not the one that's going to do it, because I'm the kind of person, I'm not going to go out and kill the person I hate. I'm the kind of person, because I watch Forensic Files, like that disclaimer I put on your show the other day, because I watch Forensic Files, and because I watch Investigation Discovery, I know the ins and outs and the understanding. You'll never get away with a murder. It doesn't matter, but you have to be in government in order to do that. And if you're not in government to do that, well, Oswald even got busted. So it's not even safe with them. So killing someone is retarded because you can't commit the perfect crime even if you know what you know. Because there's always advances in science. So as long as science got genetics and everything got going against you, there's no committing the perfect crime. You can beat the shit out of somebody knowing for a fact you're going to get caught with that. Because I'm the kind of person, I'll beat the shit out of someone right out of anybody, but I won't kill them. But I'm the kind of person, like that time with Dr. Wynn, I ran up on him in the middle of the floor and beat him to the freaking floor, but made sure I premeditated the attack enough to where I didn't bruise him, but I got seen. Because I knew what I was doing when I was in the third time, because he wasn't giving me my discharge plan. Then they gave me the doctor I wanted. Remember when I told you that? Because these are the things you have to do. If they're going to try to take you, you gotta outthink them. The problem with they always say about mental health is mental health is always changing, because they say mental health is always evolving. Well, the problem with mental health always evolving is one thing they don't consider with people like me is I don't care if you have a gun at a certain point. I could be taking my meds now. But if I'm not getting taken, it's only because you can have a gun and I can have a knife and I will duel with you until you shoot. Because I'm not going to be taken prisoner anymore. If this is the prison planet I'm going to live, then let's do it. One-on-one. You shoot, I'll make you miss, or I'll provoke you to shoot before I hear the word freeze, because freeze does not go with fire. No, you can't freeze and fire me at the same time. I'm going to move one way or the other. And that knife is not leaving my hand unless you blow my arm off. Because when I've decided, as a person who's been labeled as a child, that this is who you are and this is what I say you are, when mental health assessments run at a case of 10 to 15 minutes and they don't do no head-to-toe MRIs, you know what I'm saying? How can you, and you know, I'd be talking with staff in these facilities, and they'd be saying, how do you decide, and this would be recent, like 2013, 2014 recent, this guy's right on the staff, a fat guy named Dan, I'll even mention him, I don't care if he hears this or not, he probably doesn't. He said, how can a doctor decide in a 10 and 15 minute assessment you're manic and you've had never mental illness at all? No tests, no weeks of assessment. He just decides it. And he saw where it was wrong, but he was still working at the place. You know, and I still saw him there. And when there was groups, the same guy, Dan, that I chucked that plate at the last time I was, one of the last times I was there, came right out and said, oh, we push buttons. Like, oh my goodness, like, we're having ice cream tonight for dessert, kids. Oh yeah, we push buttons. You know what I'm saying? When we were kids, that was called teasing. But when they do it, it's positive mental health assessment to see where you're at. Yeah, push my buttons and see if I don't punch you. You understand what this is? It's assessment meets setup meets I'm going to see how far I can shove this needle up your ass to make you do what I want you to do. It's puppet mastery. It's magic. It's sorcery. It's wrong. Take it, Lee. Please say something.
Yeah, you've been hitting that nail on the head. You know.
Oh, God, did you have to say nail on the head? Did you have to say nail on the head? You sick fuck. You psychiatrist, you.
People got to look at this through every aspect. There is, it's the way we've got to do it. And if you don't start looking at it through every aspect, and that includes the people who've been put through the ringer like this, man, then you're not going to get the full picture. You're not going to understand just exactly why Big Pharma and the government want to try and control your brain. I mean, ask the quote-unquote Fort Lauderdale shooter. Think about that one. I do have to jump off here, man. I've got to get myself rounded up.
All right, well, I'll take it away from here. If I get any more calls, it'll be in the next 15 minutes. If not, I'll be ending the show in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, the show's been sounding great. It was hitting the audio great, man. You've been hitting some points. Outstanding, man. I can't wait till next week's show.
Now, maybe we'll get some more going. Maybe Spent Kent will join us.
You'd never know who's on.
Never know. Maybe Chuck will join us. Who knows? You can never know what will go on the Last Voice of Liberty.
Never say never. That's
Never.
what I'm going to say right now. Because you just never say never, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is going to be back. And don't forget to tune into this special edition of the Friday Night Super Show. I'll be broadcasting live on location. It's going to be a bit of a music show, crazy cheeseburger liquor party. So it's going to be crazy this Friday night.
Yummy!
Miss it, man. And next week, me and Tammy will be back on Monday. And for eternity right here every Tuesday night on the Last Voice for Liberty Network.
Eastside.
Look out, and more shows coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, look for more Eastside. Yes.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. I'll be checking you out next week as well, man. I'll always be around.
All right, thanks, man. Thanks for the opportunity.
You know it, brother. You're doing great.
All right, life don't get much better than this. Peace out.
All right, I'm out. Peace.
Lead the Mouth Pier, ladies and gentlemen, our network owner. And that says he's out. So, basically, I hope you understand that what you're hearing right now is not the ravings. Now, what you'll pretty much get from this, oh my God, we're hearing the ravings of a madman. Well, you like to hear, you like to do like little cause and effects things, like little stories on cause and effects. What makes this happen this way, but that's what in this way and that way with science. And well, did you ever try doing that with the stories of people? Have you ever tried doing that with stories of people? With science and evolution, we all want to say, what made this turn into that? How did this become this? How did the man come from the ape? Or how did the ape come from the man? Or how did this become possible with a Big Bang? But we always seem to marvel at the science of things. But when it comes to the stories of people, we want to find out 50 years later, maybe. But when that shit hits the fan, we just don't care. And as a people, I don't care what you are or how you are. If you love your people, your own family, your kids and all that, if you being evil, I have to throw this out there, can give good gifts to everyone you love. If you believe in anything, fate, karma, and you don't believe in God, well, if that's your set of beliefs outside of God, well, if you believe both can be good or one could be a bitch if you do bad, isn't that a reason to love your neighbor as yourself? I mean, come on, does a nut job have to ask for 10%, which I won't get? Your government's giving me enough to give you. So here's another thing. If you have the nature to care and love for your own people, you should have no problem caring and showing nature for others, because if it takes 50 years to get interested in the story of what made this man go nuts, less than 50 years, I mean, let's put this in perspective. Charles Manson, until he did what he did in reality, he was not the superstar on the t-shirts on the backs of rock stars like he's been. So when he did it, he was known, but he really wasn't known for what he's known now. So it's like, why is it in a free society where we all talk about freedom, peace, love, and happiness outside of church even, make love and not war and all that, why are we such a war-torn society? It's people like, no, it's not. It's people like me that are angry at the hypocrisy that thrives that very machine that teaches us that, but then turns around and acts in another way, but yet tries to justify itself through keen words, seductive eyes, and looks down upon us for daring to question what is actually wrong with this picture, because dare you do, you will get lied at, and lied about, and get screwed, probably thrown in a nut house or thrown in jail, just for poking your nose where it don't belong. Why don't it belong? It's your right to question. No, I was taught not to question authority. Okay, well, I'm sure you would have been very well set in Nazi Germany if you weren't a Jew. You want to say that would have been right to say? No, that's horrible. Of course it is, but that can be the truth, too. The truth is not always meant to be nice, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is not always meant to bring joy and peace, love, and happiness. Oh, what a positive, inspirational message I heard today. No! That is not the evidence of truth. Truth is meant to hurt, and truth is meant to get in fights over. Sometimes truth is meant to start wars and end them. The fact is the fact, but why is the bad guy going to come off as the good guy and the good guy going to be made out to the villain? Because really, that's the script of reality. That good must always triumph over evil. That's comic book shit, ladies and gentlemen. I know, I'm a guy living in an attic with a Sonic the Hedgehog t-shirt on right now, with tails on one chest muscle, knuckles on the other, and I don't know the difference of what's going on around me. No, good does not always triumph over evil. Especially when mankind in himself has the knowledge of good, but within himself is basically evil. When that got happened in Genesis 3, regardless of what you believe, when evil became the concept of the mind, when mind over matter only means what matters to you and not what's right for others, and you become a very evil, selfish being. Oh, I care about my family. I care about this. Oh, some of you that will say that will claim to be Christian. Okay, let's test that theory. Well, you care about your family, right? Okay, that's good. You care about this and that. Okay, fine. I don't say that's wrong. But when you're standing out there saying the same thing as everybody else would, in the middle of a domestic dispute, I hate you, bitch! And you're trying to tell that to other Christians? Hey, you don't have to convince me, your humble correspondent, that I know you're human and domestic disputes just fucking happen. I've seen them all my life. But to a Christian or someone who doesn't understand, that guy's a Christian, I don't want nothing to do with it. And that's only because, yes, our actual generation and how things have paid down since the hippie years have become the worst possible generation of retardation. And I'm sorry, I don't have to be have a vast collection of diplomas and sheepskins and all this other crap from all these degrees and colleges and shit to have to tell you common sense can work too. Who built the Ford Motor Company? Did he have a degree in automotive and shit like that? No, he built the shit himself. Since when did we adjust the standard? Oh, you need a degree in a college this and a college that just to go through this. By having all this special licenses and crap and all this other stuff, we've lowered ourselves by robbing opportunities. You can't just go and get a job anymore. Or we don't want people with job and experience. What fucking experience you have? You're right out of fucking school. Why can't I just graduate from high school and go there? Oh, but you don't have the college. What the fuck is the college experience? Grade school ain't enough? No, it ain't. Why? Why can't we just come out and say why? Because it isn't. Why? Yeah, let's start doing that again. If we're going to be this kind of children that's got to be constantly spoon-fed our nonsense from our government and be expected to believe it because they told us, or because they tell us, or because they say and they insist on the fact that it's true, then let's respond like kids. Why? Why? Why do I gotta believe that? Why? And just fucking annoy the shit out of them. Why? Because one thing I remembered is it served its fucking purpose till you got hit. Well, if we have random acts of police brutality, because why is that fucking happening? Well, then we know our government is just a bunch of evil fucking abusive, humanly abusive parents that need to be arrested their own. So flip that script on a few trips, and guess I'll SD ya next Tuesday. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to play a few songs, and then we're going to end the show. Enjoy this.
see, I'm going blind. I can 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 see, I'm going blind.
Perhaps one of the most interesting words in the English language today is the word fuck. Out of all of the English words that begin with the letter F, fuck is the only word that is referred to as the F word. It's the one magical word. Just by its sound can describe pain, pleasure, hate, and love. Fuck, as most words in the English language, is derived from German, the word frichen, which means to strike. In English, fuck falls into many grammatical categories. As a transitive verb, for instance, John fucked Shirley. As an intransitive verb, Shirley fucks. Its meaning's not always sexual. It can be used as an adjective, such as, John's doing all the fucking work. As part of an adverb, Shirley talks too fucking much. As an adverb enhancing an adjective, Shirley is fucking beautiful. As a noun, I don't give a fuck. As part of a word, abso-fucking-lutely, or in-fucking-credible. And, as almost every word in a sentence, fuck the fucking fuckers. As you must realize, there aren't too many words with the versatility of fuck, as in these examples describing situations such as fraud, I got fucked at the used car lot. Dismay, aw, fuck it. Trouble, I guess I'm really fucked now. Aggression, don't fuck with me, buddy. Difficulty, I don't understand this fucking question. Inquiry, who the fuck was that? Dissatisfaction, I don't like what the fuck is going on here. Incompetence, he's a fuck off. Dismissal, why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck yourself? I'm sure you can think of many more examples. With all of these multi-purpose applications, how can anyone be offended when you use the word? We say, use this unique, flexible word more often in your daily speech. It will identify the quality of your character immediately. Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you!
I'd like to reach your